back at it. It's dark, it's long, it's hard, it's annoying. No, I'm not talking about a dick. I'm talking about my job. When I'm on the road for long periods of time, the easiest thing for me to do to stay awake is sing. Put on some songs I know, start singing along. As long as I'm singing, I'm awake. As long as my mouth is running, I'm awake. So maybe that's why I'm doing it now. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Running my mouth, making sure I'm awake. Sometimes the songs don't hit right. Sometimes you still get tired. But for sure, I can say that if I'm singing, it's good. If I'm running my mouth, it's good. Because we can play such loud music or genres that are upper. Think like a hardcore gym playlist, right? Like you need that screamo music or some shit, so you can get your last set in. But yeah, recently been listening to a crap ton of podcasts because interesting stories, but even that is hard. Especially there's a certain time period, like it's like I think it's like between 1 and 4 or 1 and 5, where my body is just saying you need to go and lay the fuck down, or I will lay your head down somewhere where you won't like it. Right. Sometimes man's gotta make that bread. He's gotta fight it. Fighting sleep is hard. Well, anyways, let's not talk about that one no more. So, well, actually, no, let's stay. Right. So, guy who is a very good lucid dreamer. If I'm dreaming and the moment I realize, oh, this is a dream, I can do what I want. Usually my first thing to do is I'm gonna fly up real high and then just kind of go wherever, see what's going on. But I had this dream once, and I want to say it was scary, but it was very cinematic. Very cinematic. It felt like I was watching a movie. And usually, all my dreams, I'm a part of somehow. But in this case, I'm literally just the eyeball. I'm like the lens. I'm the camera that's panning around, going in and out, switching cuts. So. Down before, but the dream starts, and there's a piano being played, and you can hear the piano being played, and then the camera or my eyes move the hand out a little bit, zooms out, and then I see these tiny little fingers playing on a piano. It's like one of those huge concert performances. And it's just this little kid is playing this huge ass piano. A little Asian kid with bob cut, just playing. I don't even know what it is. It just sounded so good. And then it zoomed out and it shows him in his little tuxedo or suit with a tailcoat. I don't know what it was. The back of the thing's called. But it zooms out, and then he stands up from the piano on stage, and it was like a, what do you call it, a grand piano? Classic black ones that they open top, from the top. I don't know. But he stands up, and then it slowly turns towards the audience, and people are already starting to clap because they're like, oh my gosh, this little boy is a prodigy, and he's playing all this. And then everyone's crying or like clapping because it was so wonderful. Then the camera is looking at the audience now, and then it pans a little bit to the left, a little bit down, and then it zooms in slowly. And in my head right now, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then it zooms in on a person, and then my head thing in my dream was like, oh yeah, yeah, so she's his mom. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing I know, I see this little, I don't know, middle schooler or high schooler, little Asian girl, and she's wearing those sailor outfits, you know, with the skirts. But instead of a short sleeve, it was a long sleeve. And she's walking on like a raised ground. I don't know if it was next to a train track or not, but it was like towards the top of a medium hill. And this path she was walking on. The atmosphere is different here when it's on her. This girl. There are clouds in the sky. They're not dark rainstorm clouds. They're like darker gray. And yeah, this whole time the piano was still playing. Even after the kid finished his music, he started playing another one. And that's what's playing right now. But the camera zooms in on this girl, and it kind of shows just her face as she's walking. And then oh my gosh, she had these dark eyes, like not color-wise, just like these I'ma fucking kill this world eyes. Like whoever fucking I see next is dead. Those kind of eyes. And then I see the mom from the audience, and I'm like, what's going on? I see her head and like part of her shoulders, and it looks like she's on a bed. And I'm like, okay, this is strange. And then her eyes open up, and then I realized what was wrong. Someone put like a clear plastic bag over her head, and they had tied or taped, I forget this part, they tied or taped the bag around her neck so that she couldn't get any air if she was being shoved underneath this bag. And her eyes open, and it slowly zooms out, right? And she's like starting to suffocate. It zooms out slowly, and her hands are tied. They're tied around the wrist, and they're tied down to the bed somehow. She can't move. She's tied up. She's suffocating right at this moment. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And then it goes back to the little boy playing on the piano. There's a piano next to this bed. I only assume child prodigy, but no one's paying this kid. No one's paying him to live a better life, have better equipment. But they're not. So he pans back to him, and then I see the little fingers play across. The camera is just the pianos, and I see like a drip of blood onto the white key, one of the white keys, and then I see his tiny little fingers playing some notes, running across the keys, and then I see his little hands, right, his little fingers. I'm like, wait a minute. They look like they had some blood on them, freaking bruised. I'm like, what's going on? And then the camera does a slow 180 from his piano fingers, the keyboard, the keys, and then it slowly turns towards his face. And it looked like he had got the shit beat out of him. He had like swollen eye, his lip was cut, and bruised all over his face. And there's some blood like oozing from some of his wounds. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see this time the scene, it cuts, right? The scene cuts. And I see a little boy. But his eyes are closed. He's not as puffy. And I see him like I saw the mom, right? The head and a little bit of the shoulder. Oh my gosh, that's probably I see the shoulders slide down and the head is left there. And I'm like, what? He had been beheaded, really clean, and yeah, and it went to the other, it like kind of zoomed out a little bit, followed his body along to where his legs were, and someone was holding his leg up and dragging him away, dragging his body away. It legit slowly panned away, zoomed out, and it was that same girl I saw earlier in the dream. And she had these dark eyes again. But this time more like the, I finally fucking did it. Fuck, I finally fucking did it. Like there was not a sense of remorse, or sadness in her eyes. And then it's like if someone tried to roll their eyes into the back of her head. That's what she looked like. It was probably because of the angle. She had her head tilted down. And, oh my gosh. She dragged this little boy's body. And when I woke up, I rationalized that dream. As okay. It was a poor family. Daughter, she's the daughter is not super talented and doesn't play piano very well. So mom dotes on the little boy because for somehow reason play piano, and then all of a sudden he's a genius, and she's putting all her eggs in her son's basket. He's a whole lot younger than she is. Maybe like 5 or 6 years apart, according to my rationale. But because she never got the attention she needed, she despised her, hated her. So it came to a head and she snapped. It's like mom was in the audience clapping. You don't see his sister anywhere in the crowd with her. So he just goes, these ungrateful people making me play all this music. I'm not getting anything out of it. I don't get to. All I don't get to be a kid. Fuck. It's just all this stuff. And the little girl just mad because nobody's doing this for her. Nobody is paying attention to her. And that is why she killed her mom and her little brother. But yeah, that's one. Okay. Next time I gotta take some storytelling classes. Too many pauses, too many ahs, too many ahs. But yeah, so we out here. We're out here getting it. It's dark. It's dark. I said that it's fucking dark. Now, this one today, maybe I'll just be like this. I'll just keep talking and rambling along and whatever comes up in my head. I'll be good. Oh my gosh, so my boys, two stepsons, they're my fucking sons, right? These two guys, this last year, the older one had gotten a present from their mom, and she had given him a pocket knife, a Swiss Army pocket knife that has been in her family for like maybe 2 or 3 generations, maybe just 2, I'm not sure. But apparently it was passed down from son to son, and well, it's a long story, but her older brother is not her dad's son. Same, you know, his stepbrother. But he decided to pass on the pocket knife to my wife. Because, well, I would want you to be a boy, but you're not, so here you go. So she now passed that pocket knife down onto the older son. And yeah, he had been playing with it for a little bit, and then it came time for his brother's birthday, and apparently my wife had promised that she would get him a pocket knife too. And we happened to be at an outdoor sporting goods store, and his older brother reminded him. I was like, "Yeah, mommy, you said you would get him one when it was his birthday." And we had already celebrated his birthday. I totally forgot. She definitely forgot. So he said that, and then his little brother goes, "Yeah, it's my pocket knife." I was like, "Oh, wait, hold on a second, little title." But I'm like, "Well, no, we didn't promise." So I was like, "Hey, you come with me." I brought them all with me towards the front, and that's where they had their knives, their little hatchets, some of the knickknacks. But freaking yeah, I was looking at the Swiss Army knives, and I just asked them, "Hey, which one you want?" I want this one. It was a black. It was a Swiss Army knife. It was black. It was a smaller one or a big one. But like, I had never owned a pocket knife like that myself. So when the guy behind the counter was pulling it out for us to check it out, he was like, "Yeah," and then there's this little thing right here that's a toothpick. I'm like, "These things have toothpicks? What?" And then my wife goes, "Yeah, I mean, I used to have the toothpick in mine too, but then kind of just lost it. Never went looking for it again." I mean, I get amazed by it. Thank you, easy. But yeah, so now both boys have pocket knives. And, you know, like, you guys can have the pocket knives when you're doing stuff, but be careful. It's still a tool, you gotta be careful. And that weekend that they were with us, literally, for 1 day straight. The younger one had cut, like, I think part of the skin between the thumb and the pointer finger. So he had cut himself there, and he was inside. And I bandaged him up and told him to get back out there, get back on the way. He was outside, and his brother was inside when we were taking care of his younger brother. And he's like, you know, I didn't see him make a face, but there was gears turning in his head. And literally like an hour later, they were still playing outside. He came inside. I was like, I got cut. We're like, what are you doing? We just saw your brother get cut. We have to take care of that. You do this on purpose for attention. That is not gonna be cool. Now you're just gonna be in pain. It sucks. Yeah, manage him love too, and we're just like, hey, you gotta be more careful, otherwise we're gonna have to put these things on timeout. And not even less than 24 hours, the day after, we go outside again, and again, the younger one gets another cut, same hand, but same hand, different spot. Well, now we gotta put them away until your hands heal up. So we did. So our backyard has this little shack. It's technically not our shack, and it's part of the backyard. So I always thought, well, look at the neighbors. But the neighbors actually moved, and some new family moved in. So no one claims ownership over that little. It's not even a shack. It's like an overhang. It looks like a place where they had put firewood back in the day to keep it dry. But these guys, well, when we tell them to go play outside, they'll go outside, be on the grass for a little bit, and then sit down underneath the overhang. And they would grab these sticks they'd find. First, they started with the fence posts, and we're like, no. You do that, we're gonna have to pay. And if the neighbors have a freaking dog or something, and they get through the hole and bite you, I told you guys not to do that. But the boys had gone and looked for like sticks that had fallen on the ground from our tree, and they were like sharpening these sticks to make like stabby things. They don't know. You cut away from you. Unless you're really good at on a chopping board, chopping block. Like, I asked them, because I was trying to figure out how they kept cutting themselves. And then I told them to demonstrate it with like a pencil. And I was like, oh, you crazy. You did that. The reason why you cut yourself is because you pull the knife towards your body. You push it not towards your body. Push it away. Cut away from it. Alright? But then I figured out, oh my god, this on. Yeah, I love them. They like to do some weird things sometimes. Keeping it. Started this thing because everything's so far, people are so far, we can't do anything, we can't go outside because of the deadly virus. And then I started this before the lockdowns, before the pandemic. Like, I would just call my family and warm my friends up on Facebook, FaceTime, and be like, hey, you guys want to take a shot with me? And usually it's a yes. But freaking me and my best friends were on this FaceTime call, and we were just chatting and stuff. And one of my buddies had his shirt off, so I was like, oh, is that what we're gonna do? All right, man. I took off my shirt, slammed it on the floor. I'm like, all right, I'm shirtless too now. What's up? And then my other friend's like, fine, so you're on my shirt. Because I started doing that whenever I called them up, drank, had a shot, chat. My little buddy is, if he sees me shirtless, he's shirtless. If I see him shirtless, I'm shirtless. So comfortable with his body. He was like, hey, we I started this thing with my friends, and I just need to be shirtless when we're drinking. And obviously, you're not drinking any of this, but you can be shirtless with us. Oh, he's so cute sometimes. Oh, oh boy. Look at these M&Ms. M&Ms. This way. Sometimes these people drive so slow. They get in the way of traffic. So, got to grab a pack of gum tonight. And chewing, eating, as I said in the beginning. Singing, running your mouth helps you stay awake. Also, chewing things. I figure as long as the mouth is moving, like it's easier to sleep. I got to have now. Yeah. So, being an adult, having your own money, and being able to do whatever you want, legally speaking wise. Me and my wife were at Winco with the boys and we do all the grocery shopping. We're basically on the tail end of the shopping list, and she's going off somewhere to grab bread with the boys. And we're walking by this aisle. Something catches my eye. I stop. I run back to the aisle. I run into the aisle to what caught my eye. Boxes of fruit gushers. For the past like 2 days, I've been having fruit gushers on the road. They're good. I love them. Squeeze out the juice, but that specific kind of gummy or thing that they use, they don't disintegrate. You just kind of have to chew them and swallow them. But one second, more right there. Boxes of fruit gushers. 2 boxes. We were at 2 boxes. And I saw one was a different flavor than the other, like the individual gushers themselves. So, oh, that's cool. And then, the first bag I opened up, I pulled it in my mouth. I was waiting for it to melt or soften up a bit before I bit into it. Squeeze the juices out. I popped one in both boys' mouths, then went into my wife's mouth. All of a sudden, I popped mine at the same time, like with the roof of my mouth and my tongue, and then they all gave me this weird-looking face. I'm like, yes, that's sour. I'm like, wait, what? And then as the ooze is coming out, I taste it. I'm like, oh, I was not ready for that. It is sour. I grabbed both boxes. Apparently, I had grabbed the box that was sour, and I grabbed the box that was regular. So good. Just didn't expect it. Well, I guess when I have more things to talk about, I'll come back. Preoccupied with eating right now, apparently. M&M's, man. M&M's. Sometimes you don't understand things. Like when I was younger, I knew him as Slim Shady, and then he was Eminem for like forever. And I I didn't know why he was called Eminem. I was like, oh, who would name their kid that? And then later years, me being how old I am now, I learned his name is Marshall. Marshall Mathers. And then it clicked in me, it clicked in my tiny little child brain from all those years ago. Oh, M and M, two M's, Marshall Mathers. Holy, mind blown. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Well, never told me his real name. Oh yeah, so there's that.